How's it going? My name is William, and this is my so-called life.
Get the most fun out of life, out of being a mother and wife, with new fashion excitement that's all created by you. On your new Touch and Sew
Sewing machine by Singer.
Touch and Sew.
Another first from Singer.
Be the girl with the golden touch on your new Singer Golden Touch and Sew machine. Dozens of exclusive features, like this new built-in needle threader for the golden slant needle and the push-button bobbin that winds right in the machine. What a wonderful new feeling. You can do all three kinds of sewing: straight, zigzag, and chain stitch.
Touch and Sew, the push-button bobbin way.
Come sew on one at your Singer Center. Choose from 5 Touch and Sew models from $149.95.
What's new for tomorrow
Is at Singer today.
They're just touching Touchtronic memory machines.
Incredible.
I'm Polly Bergen. Only Singer makes machines this easy to use. Touch. The memory remembers your stitch pattern instantly. Touchtronic speed control remembers to adjust your fabric thickness. What about basting? Touch. Great. You can forget about your sewing machine and concentrate on sewing. The Touchtronic memory machine family. Come take a test, Touch.
Awesome, Molly Barbara, awesome. Hello. I hope everyone's doing well. My name is William. Welcome to my so-called life. How's it going? I'm back from Vegas. I had a crazy time, but I have to say, Vegas did not change me at all in any way, shape, or form. Nope. But before we get to all of the fun stuff, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinion of every human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening. Yay! I don't have my glasses on, but the pit boss guy. Well, I went a little crazy thrifting, and just because it's just me and you in here, I'm gonna start by showing you the sewing machines that I've purchased. And I I actually got really lucky. I have to say, Las Vegas was actually, I was kind of shocked. There was a ton of traffic. In a lot of ways, it reminded me of Los Angeles. Las Vegas is a tiny city. I got lost. I'm not kidding you. I just went to a place where I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to a higher street, and I just looked, where are the buildings? That's how small Las Vegas is, but I had a really good time. Oh, I hope everyone is doing well. I bought all kinds of crazy stuff, but I didn't go too crazy on the clothes because let's be real, like I have a walk-in closet and I have to deal with that. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to dedicate my entire day to cleaning out that closet because it's a mess. It's a mess. All right. I think I have to I need to find a good plug for this. But you know, whoever does pricing here in Los Angeles, they know their stuff because the machine, or they just Google everything, because most machines are almost competitive to what you would pay in the store, depending on what it is, where it's from, and who you're dealing with. Goodwill is notorious for racking up the price in sewing machines, but I live in California. I live in Southern California. So when I went to Nevada, I was shocked at the price of sewing machines because I bought something that I would call a more recent sewing machine. And rah, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you. Hey, if you ever want to hop in, let me know. Let me know. Yay! Hello. I need to put my glasses on. Yay! Hello. How I hope everyone is doing well. Hello. Awesome. Let me click that out real quick. Perfect. Yay! Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. It is another beautiful Saturday night. So I did go a little crazy in Vegas, but not too crazy. Like I said, I continued down the path of my jersey collection. I bought a John Stockton jersey because I forgot how close Utah is to Las Vegas. Oh. Oh, the first machine that I'm going to pull out, this is a Burnett by Bernina, and I'm going to try not to hit my microphone on that. Gosh, this microphone, we already know the stand needs help. But this is a machine. I have to take this off because it is hot. Oof, yeah, that's hot. This is a machine that retails for anywhere from 150 to $300. I got this for $24.99. The price tag is still on it. I can see the mic shrinking. This mic drives me crazy. The knob is kind of stuck. It needs a new washer. I need to go through here and put a new washer on that thing. Okay, better. So let me move my angle real quick. There we go. There we go. Man, that blazer, that red blazer is hot. But of course, I don't have a plug anywhere near me. But I was actually kind of shocked when I got this machine because, like I said, this is something that is quite expensive. And I got it for 24 bucks. I'm still kind of shocked. But when I first walked into the first Goodwill, I had to laugh because they had a giant Las Vegas sign. They knew what they were doing, you know? I just saved a rubber mat from Washers for mic stands for this summer with the band. That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. I need to go through and fix all my equipment because it's just, it's been around a long time. But I'm actually really stoked on that I scored this machine. Like I said, where I live, they would start off at like 80 bucks for something like this. Anything like this would be some crazy price where I would be like, coming back to the store and just waiting for the day it was on sale. Right now, at a thrift store that I absolutely love, there's a Brother VX809. That is my machine. That's the machine I absolutely want. They want 50 bucks for it. That thing's not even worth like 20. And I love that machine. So I'm waiting until it's on sale. I see them go for 200 all the time. Quilters want them. They're lightish and small for travel and quilt retreats. This one is actually kind of crazy because it has a burn mark right here. And, Las Vegas is filled with crazy stories. So I'm really wondering what happened to this machine. Give me a second. Whoops. Oh, but I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it has like just this strange burn mark right here. And because I've dealt with quite a few machines that have had fire damage, it's just strange to me that it would have a mark like that, because I'm sure they have fires all the time in a place like Las Vegas, but not like here. I purchased a sewing machine knowing that it came out of a locker that was fire damaged. So I know what fire damage looks like. And plus you have to work hard to burn plastic like that. But this machine is the one that I'm still kind of shocked. I got this. Well, it was $29.99, but Goodwill. So I paid $30 for this machine. Hey, Gilroy. Viva So Vegas. Oh, I have to put the blazer back on. Nope, Kilroy's here. I have to put the blazer back on. In the spirit of Saturday night. Viva la sewing machine. It's easy to burn plastic, just add kerosene. But I'm a hopeless romantic. I thought somebody was like juggling fire or doing something crazy, Now I have Viva Las Vegas stuck in my head. You know what's so sad? Going towards Las Vegas, I saw the devastation that is going on. All the places that I absolutely loved are closed. The diner was open, but I was driving at night, so there was really nothing I could do. The Giro place is way gone. And by the time I got to State Line, it kind of dawned on me. There are 3 giant casinos on State Line. And when I left in the middle. Well, I left at like 8:00 at night here. So I got there at I got there pretty late. Long story short, there was nobody in these 2 casinos and they were open. And there was barely anybody in there. There was no staff in there. It was eerie. And I didn't even realize how understaffed Las Vegas was until I drove further in the city. Yay! Kelly Savalas, it's Vegas, baby. Telly Savalas, absolutely. You know what? When I shave, I'm definitely giving off Telly Savalas. Maybe somebody put their cig out on that machine. That'd have to be a cigar. That would have to be a cigar. But I was actually kind of shocked because Vegas had nothing but skeleton crews. So it was a strange experience. And the funny thing is, um, the Las Vegas I remember is completely torn down. The hotel that I wanted to stay at, and because I know the grid, like any city, once you learn the grid, you know where you're going. So I got off the freeway and I made a turn to where the hotel I wanted to stay at was, and it's where the Sphere is. Oh, it made me laugh. Vegas was always like that. They're constantly tearing the city and building it back up. But the Vegas I remember is long, long gone. But I still had a good time. I went to a Starbucks. I sat down and I mapped everything out, and I found quite a few thrift stores. Everybody who could get out of the service industry did, and good for them. It was eerie. It was eerie because these casinos are humongous. They're made for like thousands of people just to be on the showroom floor, on the casino floor. Not to mention how many rooms are in these. And these are just they were weird to begin with. I used to go there all the time just as a like an old man parent escape. Well, that's back when I was gambling all the time. My whole point is it was strange to see the place so abandoned. It was strange. Sometimes I have no idea why I do this to myself. But first, I went to an antique mall and I had a conversation with somebody who was an absolute amazing human. I mean, I met somebody and she was like, "Oh, you should." She basically was trying to get me to work at this antique place, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of wish. I kind of wish I could work there. That's my retirement job." It's in my video. I'm walking through. If anything actually looks like a consignment shop, it's that place. I had a great time. I got lost in there. That's also where I shot in the parking lot. Desert cities are hilarious because they have these shopping centers that are the size of like 6 or 7 football fields. So I parked out in the middle of nowhere, and it was strange to me because the antique mall didn't even seem like it was open at all in any way, shape, or form, but it was. Vegas was crazy. Vegas was absolutely crazy. Was that the lady you were talking at the end of your last video? Yeah, she was actually really sweet. And when I she was like, she wanted a certain price for the serger, and I was like, I'll give you, and she took my lowball price, and I kind of felt bad. I think a lot of the time people it's not that they don't know what they have. The whole reason I lowballed her was because she didn't have a cord. And the funny thing is, she was trying to explain this, like, "Oh, this is a serger, it needs this kind of cord." I was sitting there and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "William, don't say a word. Don't say a word." I was just nodding like, because I already knew I either had the cord at home or I was gonna have to Amazon it. Oh, what? Desert cities are strange in general. Imagine building in a place with zero water. I think about that all the time because I used to live in Arizona a long time ago, and I'm going to eventually move somewhere, but I want to move somewhere that my son can thrive. And he's not going to be able to thrive somewhere where they're not going to have water 50 years from now. Admit it, you lowball everybody. I'm a born haggler, though. I am a born haggler, so it's part of who I am. That's part of the chase. That's what I love. The back and forth. But she was so sweet, and I met somebody, and it was just nice to it was nice to meet a vendor that actually cared about what they were doing. I will be here for a minute. I will be here. Ugh. I'm kind of reluctant to pull the serger out because it dawned on me when the cord came, I plugged it in, I threaded the serger. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. When it comes to sergers, it's me. I can fully admit I am doing something wrong. The tension, I don't know if the tension's messed up on this one, but I'm about to have a room full. No. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because this serger, I'm gonna grab it. I purchased a serger for $40. And the reason I'm telling you the real price is because people would want double or triple that for this machine. And I kind of feel bad because she took my initial price and I was like, no one has ever said yes. Honestly, move here to the Rust Belt. We're naturally positioned to be able to deal with climate change better than the rest of the country. Rust Belt cities are having a comeback now too. Welcome back, Alibaba. I'm thinking about I own a ton of Pittsburgh Pirate and Steeler gear too. No, but I'm definitely thinking about a big move soon. And you know what's funny? It made me laugh because Vegas was on the list and I'm driving around and Vegas is no longer on the list. Vegas has become Los Angeles. There's traffic everywhere. And you know what? Good for them. That's commerce. That's money, but Vegas has basically turned into Los Angeles. So I wouldn't move somewhere that I'm trying to, move away from just being in traffic all the time. Like even today, it was crazy. So on my way to Vegas, I had to drive through Palmdale, California. If you were to move to Pittsburgh, you'd wear the Steelers gear and you'd be instantly welcomed. And I have Steelers gear from over the past 20, 30 something years. I have a Steelers jersey. Oh man. That's like, is it really that old? It's old. I had to drive through Palmdale, California. And if anyone's ever seen Star Trek where Kirk wrestles the Gorn, on my way there, I drive past Vasquez Rocks. It's beautiful. Even at night, you can see the rocks. Well, because they're on both sides of the freeway. Absolutely beautiful. They were doing work on the freeway and there was a detour through Palmdale, California. And I got lost. To say that I got lost, and the funny thing is I have a weird sense of direction. So I gathered myself. I literally pulled over and I was like, William, you are a compass. So I grabbed my phone, which had a compass on it, and I was like, the freeway is over there. You need to head in that direction. And I found myself back towards the freeway, but it was insane. And whoever covers detour signs is evil. Because I went online when I got to Vegas and I was like, what happened? People were tearing down detour signs. So people like me who are not from Palmdale were getting lost. And Palmdale, California is a desert city. Their streets are their avenues are 2 or 3 miles long. So you'll be driving and it's just miles and miles before you get to the next main boulevard. Where I live, it's not like that because there's stuff everywhere. So there's a bunch of landmarks where you will not get lost. You'll just have to convert to the Penguins, though. If you're still a Kings fan, you might get beat up. That's real. Do you know what's really no? I will say, well, it's more baseball. I've been to quite a few baseball stadiums, um, across America, and I've been to both parks in Chicago, and people were nice to me, and I was wearing Dodger gear both times. And the and the Cubs, I'm not the Cubs. The White Sox were not playing the Dodgers, and people were nice to me. The only place that is a bad place to be should never be a Kings fan. You'd be surprised though. There's hundreds of us across America. I kind of take it for granted. And see, that's another thing here. Everybody's kind of a Kings fan because I live on the Kings side of town. The Pirates have the most beautiful park in the country. I haven't been to the new one. I haven't. I've been to Target Field. I've been to all kinds of parks. I've been to everything Seattle has to offer before they tear it down. I love going to different ballparks. It's been a while though. Do you know? And that's another thing. This trip reminded me that I used to travel and I sit around, I watch way too much internet. I've in America, we have all kinds of stereotypes like you shouldn't go here, you shouldn't go there. I haven't had that experience. As long as you're not driving over the speed limit, no one's really gonna mess with you. Hey, there are Kings fans up here in Canada from Wayne Gretzky. Absolutely. No, I jokingly said hundreds of us because whenever I watch Kings hockey on TV when we're out of town, the Kings television, they'll like focus on all the Kings fans in the crowd, and there's not too many of them. Well, it depends on where they are. And that's another thing. That's one thing I liked about Vegas. I was able to walk up to Reliant Field. I walked up to the hockey stadium. So I got my bearings from when I come back during hockey season and watch a game there because I forgot how close Las Vegas is to Los Angeles. From my house, it's like 3 hours, 3.5, and it did not feel like that. I got to Mojave, California. Mojave, it's eerie at night because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of windmills in the hills. The Mojave Desert is now just thousands and thousands and thousands of those giant turbine windmill things. But at night, um, all you see are red lights going like this. Man, and there's a specific gas station. I'm not kidding you. The 58 freeway that turns, basically, you take the 14 to the 58, and the 14 freeway goes through Palmdale, Lancaster, Roseman. You go through the desert, and there's this one gas station that is on the 58. I pulled over. I'm getting gas, and I told myself like, I'm gonna have to flip my rearview mirror up because those things are in my rearview as I'm driving around. Like it's crazy. Those red lights are extremely distracting. Oh, and I'd crash. I love looking at windmill turbines. There are thousands and thousands of them. And it's actually I have to go through I took a bunch of pictures and there's a bunch in my phone, but like during the day, it's actually quite a sight. I'm not here to say, oh, this mic is driving me crazy. I'm not saying I'm even for or against it. It's a sight to see. Oh, there we go. There we go. I finally. Are you not going to sag? But it's extremely distracting seeing thousands and thousands of red lights, and it's you're in the Mojave Desert, so it's you and the stars. That is one thing I did do. I did pull over because it's weird to look out in the sky and see the Milky Way. you know what? I live on the outskirts of the city. I'm from the suburbs, but nevertheless, there's light pollution. When I divorced my ex-wife, I sat on the set of my house like a sad guy, like Jack O'Neill with a telescope. I could tell you every star in the sky that you could see from my house. Like you can see Cassiopeia, the Little Dipper, all of it. But when I'm out in the middle of the desert, you can see everything. So that was an experience. I want to build a couple of small turbines just to see what kind of power I can generate with them. I'm looking into all kinds of stuff like that. All kinds of stuff like that. But it was unreal to pull off on the highway. And even, well, there really wasn't much light pollution because I left on a Tuesday night, But it's crazy to look up and see the Milky Way and to see, where we are. It's a very humbling experience. At least you didn't do what a lot of guys and start buying a 24 pack every day. So true. I know too many people like that. That's one of the reasons I avoid half the people in this town. But it was very humbling to pull over and see where we are exactly in the Milky Way. Because that was one thing. I've been talking about all of these wonderful things I used to do for 4 years. So any time I had an opportunity to do it, I did because, I'm here more for the experience. That's why in my video, when I was in the parking lot and I'm like so stoked, I got all these sewing machines. The second that ended, my business trip was over and I stopped recording myself because I started having fun. Somebody in the chat room, I got divorced about a year ago, turned into a major alcoholic. I went through a phase, but I stopped everything completely. It was weird. I did the opposite of what most people do. When I got a divorce, like I went through a self-destructive phase, but then I decided to do something with myself. But again, I'm a hobby driven person. So I have a ton of hobbies to fall back on. And I do not point the finger at anybody because I've been there. Speaking of which, I did not gamble. I gambled on sewing machines, but it was eerie first. When I went to State Line, I had to use the bathroom. I got gas at there's a gas station on State Line that I've always go to, and it's really eerie because it hasn't changed. And so it's just weird. So I went there, and I'm talking about since I was a kid. I say since I was a kid, like 21. 21 was a while ago, but my whole point is I went there. I went to Buffalo. What is it? Is it Wild Bill's? It's a terrible casino. But I went there and it was empty. You didn't even play any penny slots. No, because it was eerie to me because when I used to leave on a Tuesday, I would go to State Line and it would be jamming. There would be people there. It was like, man, you're like, wow, none of these people have jobs. The economy's changed. And I think because I'm way in my head, it was weirdly depressing to me. I walked in, I was like, and also I watched videos online and people are like, no, like Vegas, the industry is falling apart. And in a way it really is because nobody wants to work in the well, it's different in the city. In the outskirts, nobody wants to work in those weird casinos anymore. Hey, I bet for some that was their job if they didn't if they hit the jackpot, they'd have to earn bologna sandwiches. You know what? There are that's a good point. That is a good point because there were people after a while that I would see time and time again because we were all degenerate gamblers. I can't point the finger at somebody when I was doing the same thing. It was just weird because I came from a different perspective, a way different perspective. And I've been waffling for 34 minutes because I do not want to pull this serger out because it's me. It is me. All right, let me grab this serger. Oh, as I knock over everything. Okay, so this is a Singer Ultra Lock serger. I need to plug it in. I need to grab my phone. I have to say, the Amazon replacement cords are like as far as I'm concerned, I have yet to meet one that didn't fit and immediately turn the machine on. So if you know the model number of your sewing machine and you're missing a cord, you could probably find it on Amazon and it'll come to your house fairly fast, depending on where you live. I live in LA, so there's a major hub by my house. So like I'll be flipping through things and it'll be like, oh, it'll be at your house in 10 minutes because I live right by one of the hubs. I used to gamble. I got wrote up in the industry magazine for the Midas touch. I had a nice winning streak. See, and that's the problem, Alibaba. That's what happened to me. I started winning and winning and winning, and then it became a major addiction. Yay! Hello, Pam. Hello. So good to see you. I saw 2 sergers at the thrift store today and 2 sewing machines. One, a white rotary, and a Bel Air machine left them there. Oh. I just don't have, I say I just don't have the room as I bought 3 machines. Just don't get Amazon Prime. Just don't get Amazon Prime. Then it'll take 3 weeks to get your house. Yay. Hi, Pam. Great to see you. So I bought this red blazer in Las Vegas. Let's see. I bought a bunch of shirts, but some of them I can't even show on YouTube because I love inappropriate shirts. A bunch of them I can't even show on YouTube, but I also I bought a John Stockton jersey. I have a crazy jersey collection. I mean, all kinds of jerseys. So I laughed when I saw it was a John Stockton jersey. Yay! Hello. If the other serger is just stitching with 3 threads, turn it into a rolled hammer. That's not a bad idea at all. I need to start writing your ideas down, Joy, because I really like your idea about the motor with the blind stitcher. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm just going to sync with my microphone. So, like I said, all the people I met in Vegas were actually really sweet and kind. The thrifting community and the people that I met were just happy to be there. And it was so weird. I even said it in my video. Las Vegas is eerily clean. And I'm not saying LA is dirty. It's established. Does that make sense? LA is established, and like everything in Vegas looked brand new. And I drove all the way to Henderson basically because I got lost, but I found a thrift store along the way. But I drove to Henderson, not even trying to. I think Stockton looks better now that. Oh, I think looks better now that he's back then. Yay! I think Stockton looks better now that he did that back then. If you're talking about Stockton, California, that place was real. That place was real. Yay! Hello. I think I have about 5 or 6 sergers. I'm embarrassed to say how many sergers I have. I can see that comment. Oh, John Stockton. Do 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 do. I am in outer space, and I have not been sleeping at all, at all. So I bet he does though. But you know what? That generation, they all took really good care of themselves. It's not like this generation. I do need to put my glasses on. Yay! Hello, hello. I bet he does look better than he did back then. Let's see. I got lost in Palmdale. That's right. So I was shocked on how clean Las Vegas was. It was really weird. It was just a really strange experience. And again, I'm not saying that LA is dirty. It's just it's different compared to Los Angeles. In every single place I walked into, every single thrift store, all the employees were genuinely like, hi. And it wasn't that weird, awkward, like, oh, we were told to do this. At my local Walmart, I've said this before, I have no idea why they have greeters. They have people that sit there and mad dog you as you walk in. That's literally what they do. It's the strangest thing. I actually had a terrible Walmart experience this morning, but I'll save that story for later. I was looking for something to use this serger with. I have to make sure half of this stuff's off this table because this thing is powerful. This table is gonna jump when I turn this on. All right, let me move my notes. You know what? I'm not anti-progression. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, why can't things stay the same? I wish they would. I wish they would, but I know that they're not. It was weird to me to see the new Las Vegas. It reminded me of like it's changed. It's completely changed. It is so completely there are no longer any tiny small casinos. Everything is major corporations. I was driving in this one building lit up and I literally almost hit my brakes, but like, you know, I'm an experienced driver. I was like, oh, and I just kept going because it was so distracting. Vegas has changed. Or you know what? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I'm going through changes. You know, I didn't gamble. Maybe it's me. Really, I went to Las Vegas for on a mission. And I the whole way there, I kept on telling myself, like, William, are you really driving to Las Vegas for sewing machines? And I was like, yup. Yes, I am. Because this is what I love to do. And I love traveling. And this entire trip reminded me that I have car insurance, gas money, and weekends to myself. So I'm probably going to take another trip next weekend. So I need some suggestions. I was thinking about going to San Diego, but I've been watching a bunch of scary videos about San Diego. But San Diego is the exact same distance as Vegas. It's 3 hours from my house. Look at some photos of Vegas in the 40s. It literally looks like something down just with some casinos. So different, Kilroy. They have film like that too on YouTube. I watch those, Ollie. I'm addicted to those. There's one that they show 1899 Los Angeles. It looks like a Wild Wild West movie. There's the 1920s Los Angeles one trips me out because this woman, I think she's walking up Hill Street and everything has changed around it, but the streets are exactly the same. So like the curves, everything is the same except for the buildings that are there. It's strange. Go to TJ and do some crazy stuff. I'm not kidding you. I'm not even saying this to To be funny, I'm too old for TJ. They changed their drinking age, but TJ is still a party town. I do not drink alcohol. I know, I'm sorry, I'm a wet blanket. I haven't for some time now. And so TJ just doesn't seem enticing to me because I was thinking about somewhere crazy to take my son, and I was like, I should take him to TJ. Like, there's a bull, there's a rodeo, in TJ that goes 24. Well, it's like every night. There's all kinds of crazy stuff, but I don't know if I have that in me anymore. LA in 1899 was the Wild West for real. It tripped me out. And it was an interview with somebody who was alive in that time. I love watching interviews and ICU skits. I'm okay. You know what? When you come with me, you know what? Come with me to TJ. I just need a few more people. Well, come with me to TJ. That's all. And then I'll go. I can actually take you on a tour of TJ because that place has not changed. And I actually talked to somebody who lives in that area. So that place has not changed at all. I watch all those videos and I love watching the interviews with people from the Victorian era. They would look at us and just like, what is wrong with you people? Okay, so to all my sewing people, what should I have the tension at? Never been to. Okay, so first, before I scold skits, do you know what's funny? Because I'm a Southern Californian, skits is a Northern Californian. When I was a kid, the drinking age in Mexico was 16. So Tijuana, Mexico was literally that place in Pinocchio where all the kids were smoking cigars and getting donkey ears. Like, TJ was a bunch of 16-year-old kids hanging out. I'm not kidding you. I would go to TJ with my friends and see people from other high schools around my area. So that place has changed, but they changed their drinking age. It's no longer 16. It's now 18. I can remember as a kid talking to so many that lived through the Victorian era in the 70s and in the 80s. That's why I feel so fortunate because I grew up around World War II, just World War II era people, and I shut up and listened while they were talking. Especially my grandmother as she got older because she started telling the real stories. But it's important to talk to people like that. It's important to remember those people. I say this all the time. In the 1920s, everybody listened to big band music. That, like, I'm sure in 1925, somebody was like, man, big band is going to live forever. Can someone name me a big band right now from that era? And if you're from the UK, I know about Joe Loss. So I'll wait. You could always take your son to the nearest Navy recruiter, then you'll see places he can't afford to take him to. I'm laughing way harder than I should because my neighbor's kid flunked out of college and they were like, join the Navy. Oh, but the Navy changed my pops' life. So like I'm not ever gonna talk bad about the military because I was raised in a military family. Now I have in the Navy stuck in my head. They want you. I don't know what tension to have it on. The machine is in front of me. Oh, I don't know what tension to have it on as the machine isn't in front of me to play with. Start off the normal to work to the. That's true. Last big band I heard of was Glenn Miller. So, but Glenn, I'm not laughing, but that Glenn Miller is modern, I just want to be cool. All right, now I can see. Okay, I can actually see the computer. I just want to be cool, man. I just want to be cool. Oh man, I need some water. I think I've had way too much caffeine today. They want you. They want you as a new recruit. Now I have that song in my head. You need your glasses. You sound like me trying to read while I was drunk. And the sad thing is I went to college and my comprehension is actually really high and I read books all the time. It's just I refuse to wear my glasses. Let's talk about it. Because I know someone out there is going to be like, what is wrong with you, Sewing? It's a complex I have. I refuse to wear my glasses. It's an issue. And I apologize in advance. Pam, don't the tension start at the middle on the 5 on a serger? You are cool with or without the glasses. It's just you need them to see clearly. And you know what's funny? The older I'm getting, my vision is getting worse. I wore my glasses almost my entire Vegas trip because I didn't take them off until until at night. Well, I didn't need my glasses. Your eyes are junk. Put on your glasses or get better frames you actually like. Not all glasses are birth control glasses. These, I'll tell you every single time, these are United States Army standard issue. If you are dogging my glasses, you are dogging the entire tradition of the United States Army. The problem is I have to do this when I have my phone. And so we can understand your slurry words, then 2 will be clear. And so we can understand your slurry words, they too will be clear. Man, I really do need my glasses. I've had to get Jordan on a retainer because of all your purchases. To be fair, I spent way less than I would ever have with my gambling habit. I grew up with Army veterans. They hated the Army glasses too. Yay! With a serger, each dial is usually set differently. I've been messing around with the tension all night because it was frustrating because I'll show you. I'm just going to show you. I literally just did the reindeer right now live on YouTube. Okay. But this thing, I keep on reaching over here like it's a brother. This is a singer. So the knob is over there. Okay, let me bring the over here. BCG. I can see though. Can you turn around the serger to look at the front? I can. I debated not bringing the table out, but it's been a while. Let me put my I've been to Vegas jacket. I had to make one crazy purchase, and this was $10 if anyone's keeping score. Because this is extremely fake. This is not fancy or anything. I just looked up Vegas on Google Street View. Yes, I'm good on Vegas now. That traffic is insane. It reminded me of LA. Like, excuse me, what's the point of leaving a tense situation to go to another one? I just have in the Navy stuck in my head now. But Vegas traffic is the same as LA. And the funny thing is I got lost. I'm in my car, I'm mapping everything. And so as I'm getting lost, I'm finding all of these I'm finding a ton of thrift stores. So I just kept on going more north because I kept on going to all these different thrift stores. And I have to say, I went to a Savers and I've never been to a Savers before. And the people at the Lutheran thrift store were really nice to me. They didn't have anything, but I walked in with my patches and everything, and they were so kind to me. Did it come with a book? No, it was only the serger. It was only the serger. But that reminds me, my brother came with everything. It came with the case. It came with the instruction manual, everything. So I'm actually stoked because that thing is like half embroidery machine. I would set each at 3 to begin. All right. Let me turn that around and do that again. This is the process I was doing last night. And it, I have like hardcore issues with sergers. Eventually, I'm going to figure this out. I think it's because the last serger I had just utterly and completely bonked on me. I bought one brand new, but let's be real. I used it like it was industrial. So, of course, it's going to... no, turn it up to 11 is my answer for everything. Then the loopers can be adjusted depending on the stitch. All right, let's find out. That was all me because I can't serge upside down. Or in the in this jacket, I feel like I'm interviewing a sewing machine. So you're from Vegas, huh? Got any good stories? Okay, that's hot. That's hot. That is hot, and not the kind of hot I'm looking for. All right. I can already see that this stitch is really loose, but we're gonna try that again with me actually trying to get the serger in this time. Okay. And for the record, I slur my words also because I do not sleep at night. Oh, right. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. I had to buy, besides my John Stockton jersey, I had to buy one like crazy Vegas jacket. That's when it's set on all threes. That thing is frayed. That thing is frayed. But I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna turn this around and I'm gonna start playing. Yup, needs adjusted. Okay. So I have a question. Which I'm gonna put okay, so I'm gonna go for the top, which ones are on the side? Is that the top? The ones that go, I have no idea what I'm trying to explain. So I'm gonna go 4, 4, 5, 5, and see if that helps. Part of it is too with a lot of these machines, they just need to be ran a few times, and eventually they catch. Says the person who hasn't had any success with a serger ever in the history of sergers. But this serger, like I said, is me. It's me. It is definitely me, and I'm gonna figure it out. Come on, we all know you're slurring your words right now because you decided to drink a pot of tea before you came on. I learned that lesson one time because I slur my words naturally. I learned that lesson one time. I got way too comfortable, and on a live stream, I drank a giant cup of pot tea, and that was one for the books that I will never do again. I will never drink pot tea live on stream ever again. Okay, so the problem I'm having in general is that I'm getting these top loops here. Is that like the back 2 stitches, or is that the top 2? It's just utterly and completely fraying at the top. So whatever is at the top needs to be tightened, is what I'm trying to stammer out. So I'm gonna go even higher to 6. I'm gonna keep the front 2 at 4. Right, that's why you need to drink some crack tea. Then you could go for 48 hours. On the third thread over to a 5. Bam. Okay. Let me cut that and let's try this again. And I really like Joy's idea about getting a bucket, because this thing doesn't have anything to catch. But I have this table here that is made for sewing machine, so I can take the bottom piece out and put a bucket under here. Okay, that kind of brought it in. So I think I'm going to set the other one at 5 and see what happens. The whole world wants to see you cracked out. Well, no, you don't. No. I start telling things about myself and start confessing and talking about issues, getting emotional. Just keep adjusting the tension till you get a beautiful stitch. Eventually the looper. Oh, usually just the looper threads. Are those the back 2? These 2? All right, I'm gonna go to 7 just to see what happens, because I was having this problem last night. I had the tension all the way at 9 on everything, and it was still throwing crazy stitches. But again, I think it's me. Sergers and I do not get along. I was thinking about making another video of like Wrath of the Serger. Okay. So 7. I'm gonna go 5, 5, 8, 8. This is the part of sewing that no one talks about. This is why I kind of didn't want to pull out the serger, because it's almost there. It's almost there, and it's me. I'm telling you, if these things weren't so useful, I would chuck this one in the trash can along with the other ones where they. Oh my God, he's going to plaid speed. Okay, come on. It's throwing down a decent stitch, but it's missing some, and it's like, all right. Is there anything I can adjust on? Well, you know what? I'm just gonna start messing around with everything and see what happens. We didn't have a ping pong team. I talk about it all the time. My junior high taught us to square dance. I still know. I know at least 6 or 7 line dances, all kinds of fun stuff. And if you put on Achy Breaky Heart, I'd shock you. You know what? That's getting more decent. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says always listen to Pam. Because Pam was right. Pam, you might get another short video of me thanking you. And I'm not kidding. Because this is actually coming along. The thing about something like this, I have no idea how long this machine has been sitting around, and this is definitely from the 90s. You know, don't put an achy breaky heart. I'll smash the stereo into a million pieces. That song reminds me of junior high school. That's how long ago that song was played. No, but when I was a kid, they wanted to, they were trying to teach us how to dance. It was like a state required dance class, so it was line dancing. They taught us country line dancing. All right, I need to get more scrap for this. But the serger is actually coming along. And I have to say, mission accomplished as far as my Vegas trip goes, because I wasn't going there for too much debauchery. I went there, to do what I do here. But I needed a vacation. I needed to get out of the house. I needed to go somewhere else. And I had a good time. And that's all that counts. And I don't know if this piece is going to be big enough, but I will make it big enough. And I keep on saying Vegas has changed, but maybe it's me who has changed, Maybe. Oh. Oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. I am doing something wrong. You know what? Let's adjust the tension more. This machine hasn't been used in a long time, I can tell. It's still a popular party song around where I live. When it comes on, I get a refill on my coffee and go for a smoke. That's like Sweet Caroline. I know some people are gonna unsubscribe when they hear me say this, but I used to go to a karaoke bar that was within walking distance of my house, and I would hear that song. This was like 12 years ago. I would hear that song at least 6 or 7 times every night. So when I hear Sweet Caroline, I walk away. Oh, that's funny. Now I have Achy Breaky Heart and Sweet Caroline stuck in my head at the same time. I'm stoked though. Between this and the Brother Machine, which I am going to plug in right now because I want everyone to hear how beautiful this machine is. Because the serger is going to be a work in progress. So that's why it was on the desk, because it's going to sit there for a while. Sweet Caroline is a song that where I hear it, that I'm good on it for the next when I hear it, I'm good on it for the next 9 months. Ugh. You know what though? I was going through some stuff, and at that same place, I used to play November Rain all the time, to the point where every time it came on, everyone would look at me and be like, "Really?" Because I'd walk in there with money, and I would walk into the jukebox and be like, "Okay, play this song 9 songs from now." So everybody would forget that I was standing at the jukebox. So I get it. I get it. Oh. Oh. I'm laughing at how goofy I was. I was when I was listening to November Rain all the time, I was sad and goofy. And here it is, like, gosh, 12, 13 years later, and I'm laughing at myself. At least it wasn't Purple Rain or Chocolate Rain. The movie, I had a friend who, if you went to his house, that movie was on. When we were kids, I hung out with him all the time. As an adult, I hadn't hung out with any of my friends in almost 10, 12 years. They found me because of Facebook. We were hanging out. I walked in my friend's house, and he had Purple Rain on, just playing in his house. There are certain movies that I'm like that. He destroyed Purple Rain for me. The movie. I have seen that movie over 60 or 70 times. And it's on TV around here all the time, too. Oh, I'm excited. I am excited for this PC 210 though. Let's find some chords. Oh, perfect. Do you know what's really funny? This might become my everyday using sewing machine. This might, I think this might be, I don't want to say it because every time I say something like that, it's just utter and complete disaster. And I can tell this machine has been completely refurbished, which means it's been taken apart and put back together. But it still works. I can't believe you said chocolate rain. All right. The Bernina too, it had a bit of a knock, and I'm really reluctant because I'm reluctant just to start slathering the WD-40 in that thing because that machine is, even with its little knock, it still works better than most of the stuff I have in this room. Let me fix that. Perfect. You know, one day I'm really shocked. Every time I plug something in, I'm kind of shocked that I don't hear a pop, pop, pop. That means that second panel in this room is working. Beautiful. This is a really fancy machine. I didn't even see. Oh, it came with a bunch of feet. That's cool. A seam ripper. Let's see if it comes with the goodies. Oh, it does. Awesome. Do you know what's so funny? People are so respectful towards sewing machines. I have hundreds of these because I just take them out. So if anyone ever went in this room, they would be like, what is wrong with this guy? This machine like is in perfect condition. It came with the instruction manual, everything. So I'm actually going to know what's going on with this machine because it came with the full guide. If it has a knock, then you just need to fill it up with leaded gas. That's actually a joke I always say about coffee. I'm like, is this leaded? Which I stole that joke from Cat Williams. The front box should come right off to become an arm machine too. Oh, you know, I'm like, I'm like, that's. Oh, this is perfect. Oh, this is perfect. All right, so let me grab my scrap piece. When I turned this on, I had to laugh because you know what? There's all kinds of arguments about inflation or this or that. I pay more money to live here. I just do. So when I saw this machine was affordable, I had to laugh because here they would have this thing behind the desk. Handy, eh? I ended my Miami rocket fuel. No decaf allowed. I think, you know what's funny? I've been saying this for over 20 years. I think decaf is a cruel joke. This machine, though, because it is a brother, I had to laugh because when I first turned it on, I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know how to use this thing. This machine is almost works on the exact same principle as my brother PE 535. So when the arrow is green right now, which basically means it's ready to sew. The second I saw that, I was like, oh, never mind. It took me a minute to figure out this machine. It was actually one of those funny moments of like, yeah, it's me. It's me. I want an arm machine. I've been on the lookout for a Singer 431G. That's on the list. Decaf isn't as evil as Hitler, but it's pretty close. Look at that. Can you hear that? And I'm turning this thing and it's not even messing with it. Oh, that's perfect. Can you hear that? That's perfect. And this is really coarse material. This is drape material. This is extremely thick. Absolutely, Alibaba. It's a smooth machine. And I just knocked my mouse over. Oh, and I also I'll bring that up later. Never mind. That thing legitimately sounds like a two-stroke engine, super smooth. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I have no complaints about this machine, and I'm kind of shocked. This is worth the trip because this is something that's going to be on the desk. This is something that's going to be used. I'm going to use it until I burn it out. It's definitely something that I was in need of of an everyday machine too, because I destroyed that baby lock. It still works, but you know, I used it as an industrial and it's not. You did good in Vegas. I'm still shocked that I actually did. And that was another thing I had in my head. I was like, I hope I like when I get there, I hope it's not a complete failure. Oh, I have to show you the case because this came with the case. Oh, and I was not kidding you when I said that I got a John Stockton jersey. This is going to be great in the collection. You know, I have a group of very understanding friends, and I cannot wait to the moment where I walk in wearing the John Stockton jersey. They're going to be like, are you kidding me? They're going to freak out when I walk in wearing that jersey. They're going to be like, do we have to take you to the psychiatric hospital now? I can't wait. I can't wait. Quit being a cheap bastard and buy an industrial, sir. You aren't supposed to go through sewing machines like packs of cigarettes. I did destroy it was brand new. Yeah. I destroyed a brand new Husqvarna Viking, a 2019. I'm looking at it. That was my flagship sewing machine. I still love that thing. I am going to get professional help with that machine. That machine will write again. And I destroyed a baby lock, which is rare. Like to destroy a baby lock sewing machine is almost unheard of. But you know, I make 3 to 4 items a week. And when I started, man, when I found that furry material, you couldn't keep me on the farm. I'll admit it. I lost my brains when I found furry material. I love sewing furry material, but it destroys sewing machines. I part of me thinks that the furry material was the downfall of my serger. Good times. You just gotta get up your basketball game. And those items have 3 items worth of sewing in them. So you're making 12 to 15 items a week. And I do a bunch of weird patching. Like I refuse to throw away pants. When this stream is over, I've slowly been guilting myself. My middle bedroom has once again become a disaster, but part of the joy is going through everything and rediscovering all my clothes because I have a lot of amazing stuff I've been collecting over the years and I allow it to just kind of pile up in my walk-in closet. So I'm excited. Oh, all right. The arm machine is so nice for patches and pants and pant hems. I can't wait. I refuse to throw away pants. And part of it is I love that. You know what it is? I won't even lie. I love that hobo look. If anyone ever watched Popeye, that like wimpy, like, hey, I'll gladly pay on Tuesday for a hamburger today. Like, I love that like 1920s hobo look with the sad pork pie hat, almost Paddington Bear style. I love that look. So I rarely throw away my denim jeans. And I have this weird plan. There's one pair of jeans that I have that eventually is going to turn into one giant patch. Well, a bunch of patches. And it's on its way there. Maybe if you quit popping Viagra like Tic Tacs, the crotch in your pants wouldn't blow out so often. I refuse to stop. Do you Americans have Wimpy Burger? Not anywhere near here. Alexa, Alexa, is there a Wimpy Burger in California?
I found a few options. There's Wimpy's Hamburgers, 134 miles away on East Tulare Avenue. Wimpy's Hamburgers, 141.2 miles away on South Court Street. And Wimpy's Hamburgers, 149.
It's 140 miles from my house. 140 miles from my house is a Wimpy's. I've never heard of Wimpy's. I have to go. That might be part of my next mission. I wonder if I'm going to have to. Let's do some Google foo real quick. I'm going to laugh if it's like a Wimpy Burger near me. Oh, there was one in Compton. It's permanently closed. Oh, where's the map? Where's the map? Come on. Oh, I think there was only one because that one keeps on popping up and I think it's gone. Their food looks amazing, though. I need to get off this page because now it's making me crave a greasy spoon food. Never heard of Wimpy's either. That's crazy. That's one thing I loved about Vegas, though. When I was driving around, they have fast food from across the nation. I think it's ingenious. In Las Vegas, if you like, we don't have rallies in California, but it's in Vegas. We don't have well, no, there's Sonics. What else? Farmer Boy, all kinds of just weird stuff that's not here. It's in Vegas. they're bigger in Europe. Other than one Mickey's in German, that was in Holland. They didn't have many burger places back then, or even pizza shops. I don't know if I can handle that. You got to take hands there, have him eat some real food. He's hanging out with his mom this week, and she does not play. So I know he's going to be eating $50 pizzas again. You know what, though? I'm accommodating to a certain point, especially with my son, because, I come from a long line of bigger people. So they're always like, eat, you're getting skinny, So I'm like that, too. I'm constantly telling them, like, eat here, eat, like, and I'm taking them to hardcore places because I'm addicted to cheeseburgers and pancakes. That is probably the most American thing about me. It should be on my passport. But I am addicted to, well, pancakes aren't just solely American, but I'm just saying I am addicted to cheeseburgers and pancakes. Before I waffle too much, this is the case. This came with absolutely everything. It has both manuals. I have the other manual over there. Oh, I forgot Scientific American had a bear on the cover, and I forgot to flash it during Critically Drinking. But this came with everything. It came with this thing came with the operation manual in both languages. This has to be French. That one's in English, I can tell. But it was crepe shack, sausage shacks, or snitchel. I can't say the word. Snitchel shacks. See? Red, yellow, leather. Shack. This came with everything. And in a weird way, this machine is an embroidery machine. This truly is an embroidery machine. I'm stoked. There's all kinds of modes and things in this machine that I'm going to discover. I didn't know you liked bears. Maybe you should be living in San Francisco then. Man, I don't like the weather. But this is let me cover up my address. But this is the cover of Scientific American. You know what's really funny? I've been getting Scientific American since I was a kid. And even when I lived out and about, I would buy it every month. When I lived in Portland, that was actually a joy of mine. Every month I'd go to Borders and I would like buy a new DVD. See, kids, before the internet was constantly streaming everything to us, we had to entertain ourselves. So I'd buy a Scientific American and get like a new movie every month. I wanted to live in San Francisco once, then it stopped being winter. I think I've talked about this like endlessly. My dream was to live in San Francisco. I tried to move there 4 or 5 times. It never happened. And that place became unaffordable. And this was 20 years ago. I tried to move there 2000, 2002, 2004-ish before I moved. When I moved to Portland, Oregon, I considered Portland, Oregon, poor man San Francisco. It was so friendly. People who live in Portland now are going to laugh, but it was so friendly. It was so kind. It was everything that I was hoping San Francisco was. So I have no regrets of living in Portland. But my dream was to live in San Francisco, and it failed every time. But for $30, this came with the case, everything. I'm stoked. For everything that happened in my Vegas trip, because I had fun, but this was worth it. Everything. It was completely worth it. I completely scored, and I haven't even plugged in the other machine yet. Now, to live in Portland, you either have to be rich or a crackhead. I worked at Carl's Jr. on 5th and Taylor and had a functioning life and would go to the movies. And like, it's so sad, but the economy was different back then. I was getting paid when I started. It was like $8. I'm old. But like, I remember when I became a shift leader, I thought I was rich because I was making $9.35 an hour. And with that, I was able to live in an apartment, have a life, a television, pay bills, had to have a cell phone. That was a different time. I miss living in Portland. It's just not my thing. I have to live somewhere where I can raise a child. So Portland is just not necessarily that place for me anymore. All right. So let me grab the other machine before I start dogging the entire Pacific Northwest, which is a beautiful place. Oh. Whoa. So this other machine, I was kind of shocked because, like I said, in LA, I'll always that cord is not long enough. You'll always find a singer, a brother. You'll even find Juki laying around, but you rarely find Foff, Bernina. Name something that isn't a an everyday brand on the West Coast. Singer has a monopoly, and I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. Okay. This machine, I'm shocked. I'm telling you, when I saw the machine, I was like, these people really want $24 for a Bernina, and it has a mancha on it. It has a burn mark, but I'm telling you, like, this thing was near extreme heat because it's not yellowed or anything. So that means it was brushed by extreme heat, which furthers the mystery. All right. Beautiful. That's because LA was built after Singer stomped all over the competition. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. They have a monopoly because whenever I go out of state, I see machines that aren't Singer. I would have never been able to purchase this where I live. An iron, a solder gun. Oh, that is true. Okay, I agree with you. It could be an iron but a homemade iron is not that hot. It is. I'm sorry. A commercial iron is not that hot. Like I know somebody that has dry cleaning, like that owns professional equipment. Their iron will burn a hole through a table if you put it down flat. But it like something like this would have to have been extreme heat and like a quick flash, because it's a deep dimple on this thing. All right, I'm gonna have to grab my Dritz holder for this one. Ooh. You know what's so funny? Out of everything in this room, this is the most reliable piece of equipment I have is my good old thread holder. There's another one buried in here somewhere, and it bothers me that I lost it. But I have a smaller one in here somewhere. All right, make sure that thread's out. Perfect. Just sticker it up. I love that idea, Pam. Thank you. I love that idea. Maybe they were lighting their bong and forgot to turn the lighter off. Again, you'd have to be using a torch. You'd have to be, I'm an inquisitive person. Like if this was a human being, I wouldn't say a word. I'd be like, "Oh, you're walking around with." I wouldn't say a word, but like because it's a machine, I'm like, I wonder what your story is. You'll see in a second. The electronics still work, but let's see. Perfect. Oh, this thing is fancy. Okay, so this is a Bernina. This is the first Bernina machine that I've ever owned. Next short will be having him adding stickers on his machine. Yes. Yes. Got to keep those numbers up. It is time to make a short. Oh, that went straight into that thread guide. That's funny. I missed it and it still went in. This again, this is another machine that I'm like, how did this thing end up in this house? This is an extremely fancy machine. This is another machine that I need to look up the manual on this because I'm sure this is an embroidery machine as well. Perfect. That last thread guide is hard to get to, but it does it on purpose, and I respect it. Beautiful. Oh, let me put it through because it has a weird foot on. Perfect. Perfect. Or you could take a torch to the rest of it and turn it into an art piece. I am not that artsy. Do you know? No joke, the fire department was already called today. Somebody around here, their fire alarm was going off for a good 45 minutes. And my mom calls me and she's like, "Hey, do you hear that alarm?" And I'm like, "Of course I do." And she's like, "What should I do?" I abruptly told her, "Call the fire department." 10 minutes later, I look on my camera. I'm like, "Am I hallucinating?" There's a giant fire truck backing up. And I'm like, "Oh my God, she called the fire department." And they went looking for that. They went looking for whoever's fire alarm. So anyone in my neighborhood, if your fire alarm was going off, don't blame me. They don't play, man. Where I live, we do not play about fire. You can't yell fire in California. We do not play around here. And plus, we're all kind of traumatized because I've talked about it years ago, but he moved away. I had a neighbor who went through a divorce and he dug a fire pit in his backyard and he burnt every piece of furniture that his ex-wife and him ever purchased. He took a car in the backyard and took it apart piece by piece and burnt everything he could. So we're all traumatized for him. And then when the fire department came and told him not to do it, he got so squirrely, they had to call the cops on him. So some people go crazy when they get a divorce. Others buy sewing machines. Or you're just so hot, you set off fire alarms. Thank you, Gilroy. Thank you. Now that's a t-shirt. I might use that. All right. So I don't even know what stitch I have this thing on. I don't even know if it's properly threaded, but let's find out if it still has that weird knock. Nope. Do you hear how perfect that sounds? I think this might be my number one. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have a contest of what sewing's next sewing machine. Did you oil these machines yet? No, I have not. No, I have not because so when I got there, I was so excited I did not sleep. So I went and I got there early as always because that's my bad habit. I got there before everything opened. So I'm sitting there drinking Starbucks. I went shopping. I went and had a great time. And I went and established myself. I took a nap, which wasn't long enough. And I went out and had fun. Then I drove home. And then I got home and I was still kind of excited. I should have slept and I did not. So I've been trying to catch up sleep the past 2 days and it has not worked. So no, just buy a Juki. I think it's time. You know what's really funny? Instead of a GoFundMe, because I'm anti that. But I was thinking about getting one of those old dunk booths and setting it up. I'm not kidding you. I'm gonna say, who wants to dunk sewing? If I put that online, people would fly from around the world to get me in a dunk booth. So I might have a dunk booth for charity, aka me. When I was a kid, my church had these amazing carnivals every single summer. And I would work the carnival sometimes. And one year they had a dunk booth. I was born for a dunk booth. I was calling people, oh, you stink. Oh, you're this or that. People were cheering when I got dunked. So we need to bring back the old carnival, the old fun carnival stuff. I'd hire Antani or Aaron Judge to dunk you all day. Hey, see, that's okay because that would get me my 10K for my Juki real fast. Oh, see, you see, it would work. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a fundraiser for a or a sew-a-thon. We have invented the sew Olympics here. How could I do a sew-a-thon? You know what? I won't even ask for money. I'll just I'll just like sew for 24 hours and then just go buy a Juki. You know what? You know what's really funny? Inside of me, I refuse to pay $10,000 for a sewing machine. Is that wrong? There is something inside of me that says, like, let's look it up. Let's see how much a Juki is. Just a quick dry run. Let's see how much. Juki, no, not Julie. Juki sewing machine. Okay, so for Juki DL 8,700, that's $900. Is that the one that everybody has? That's still that's not bad. That one's 10,000, that one's 700. Let me look up Juki machines actually. That's not bad for the full table and everything. That's not bad at all. $900. You know why? It's because when I went to that mega sewing place in downtown, they're a certified Juki dealer and they had the real deal Jukis. And they were like fresh from the factory. And there we go. Add a hashtag will bring more people. We got to think of somebody to host the sew-a-thon like Jerry Lewis hosted the telethons. I can do it. I have bad blazers. I have bow ties that I could just wear open. I have a ton of bow ties. Do you know what's so funny? It's no secret. I used to wear bow ties all the time. Do you know the bow tie world is so crazy? There are all different types of bow ties, different types of materials. Like Calvin Klein has a whole line of bow ties. And I always laugh when you buy someone who's not really into the bow tie world, you buy them their first real bow tie and they open it up and they're like, looks like a headband. It's because you actually have to tie it yourself. Oh, when you said Jerry Lewis, I thought of the old school telethons with his bow tie open. Might not have a servo motor with the 900 model. See, that's the problem. That is the problem. Think we could get Drew Carey. I'd say Bob Barker, but we got close. But he got close to possible 100 without going over. My grandmother lived to be 99 too. Drew Carey, actually, you know what? Drew Carey, if I was, yeah, Drew Carey will party. Drew Carey he actually likes to party. He is LA famous. if there is like a party and Drew Carey's hosting it, you know you're gonna go home with some memory where you're like, wow, that's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. That man knows how to party. He knows how to party. He is not a slouch. Drew Carey, you know what? Let's test out some stitches while I'm telling stories about Drew Carey. He was nicer than Lenny Kravitz. This thing, it's shaking the table. You know, my thing is, it's not always the top stitch, it's the bottom stitch. Because I judge it on how tight the bottom stitch is, but you can just tell that this thing is doing its duty for Queen and Country. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Ah. If the tables are rocking, don't come a knocking. Oh. I saw someone today that unironically had things hanging off their truck, and I'm like, bro, it is 2024, and you really have those on your truck. It kind of made me laugh. We were in traffic, right? Like we were driving, or I would have took pictures. Let's see. Vegas was affordable, kind of. You know what they do? They like their hotel rooms are affordable, but everything else is like really expensive as far as food. And it's nothing but fancy restaurants on the strip now. Or you're eating McDonald's or Taco Bell. For the size of the Bernina, it has a large motor. You can just tell this thing is powerful. This is another machine, way more amps than a featherweight. Absolutely. This is the kind of machine, like, this is another one. I was reluctant to plug it in because I knew I was going to fall in love instantly. And I'm in this weird, like, what machine should I use? But I'm in this weird place in my life right now, so I'm going to probably rearrange this entire room this evening. Or I'm going to go attack my my walk-in closet. I was going to go to Vegas because of the cheap buffets, but by the time I looked into it, they got rid of the cheap buffets. Well, they had to pay for all the losses they had during COVID. And I noticed that as well. Like, a lot of Vegas is still ghost town. I love those really out of the way casinos. Like I drove to Henderson and I saw this strange casino and I pulled in and I just kind of walked around. I kind of looked around, but everything has changed in Vegas. The buffets aren't what they used to be. Even in on Fremont Street, where the steak and lobster used to be like $6, it's $12 now. I laughed so hard. And one day I will get that steak and lobster combination just to see what it is. A long time ago, I went to the Hooters hotel and casino, which I doubt is even there anymore. But they had this advertisement for $10 prime rib, $10 prime rib, and you get a big potato. Let me tell you, it was not prime rib, but it was still good. But once you're in there, they know they have you. Do you know, I love sci-fi. I have fallen down this weird rabbit hole of people who like, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. If you don't like something, don't watch it. I found it on this weird rabbit hole of people who hate the new Doctor Who, and it's weird to me. You will not, man. If someone doesn't like me, I'm not going to be making videos about them. It's so strange to me. I'm a proactive person. I'm not saying society's perfect, but it's just so strange to me how someone will dedicate themselves to talking about something that they don't like. And I'm not talking about one video. There are people who are following this series around and they hate it in every episode. They're like, I'm doing this for you. No, bro, you're doing it for you. It's just weird to me. It's weird. Are they adjusting prices or are they keeping them up despite the lack of biz. It I think it's probably both. It was just strange to me because once you got like Vegas was booming, but summer's coming and people come from all around the world because Vegas is hot. And I get it. Especially if you come from a cold weather a place where it's cold all the time, Vegas is perfect for you because you will experience the desert instantly. But it was strange to me. It was strange to me to like, I'm not kidding you, for 3 casinos on State Line that could probably have 15, 20,000 people in these 3 casinos, which will never happen. They've never had full occupancy. But for these giant sprawling properties, there was only 5 or 6 employees on State Line. Like legitimately, there was no, it was the strangest thing to me. I've never seen it that bare bones. And there was a thrift store. I didn't even bother going to it because, well, they kept on saying how overpriced it was. But there's this giant mall and there's a thrift store in there now. But online, they were saying like this place is so overpriced, it's not even worth it. I felt the best when I was in Vegas. 114 dry heat was the only time in my life I was in zero pain. You'd love Arizona. Arizona's like that too. I'll tell you in a weird way, when I lived in Arizona and Oregon, with only 2 places I ever lived where I wasn't getting sick all the time. Oregon, I think it's just because they have clean air. It's the definition. I came straight from LA to Northern Oregon, and it was just fresh air. But Arizona, I didn't get sick one time, and I lived there for a while. So there is something to be said about the heat. That's why I'm griping, because we're having beach weather every single day now. It's cloud covered, and then it's kind of like it's beautiful in the afternoon, but I kind of miss my desert heat. By now, it's 89 every day. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but that's like barely warming up here. Let's see. Yeah, it was. So this morning, something happened that has not happened to me in forever. I went to my local Walmart, which I should not have done. I was walking with my cart and I walked past this guy, and I'm not kidding you. I'm looking at candy because I'm like a kid. I need sweets. And look, I'm just looking at candy, and the guy's like, are you mad dogging me? And I started laughing. I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. Nope. Long story short, I ended up walking out of Walmart. Sometimes I feel like I live in my own little world. Like I live in my own little bubble. 99.9% of the people leave me alone and I live in peace. People who are outwardly insecure like that are weird to me. Are so weird to me. So it was a surreal experience this morning to have somebody, and he was older than me. So needless to say, that is reinforcing why it's when you're staring at somebody. I'm sorry, that's LA lingo. It's the guy walked past and was like, "Oh, are you staring at me?" He was trying to pick a fight with me. I'm not kidding you. It was like 9 something in the morning. This was after coffee. I'm literally debating, and I'm not kidding you. My great debate was, did I want to buy 3 pounds of gummy bears? And how come they didn't have a 3-pound bag of the sour gummy bears? That was my legitimate gripe in my head. I was like, man, the 99-cent store closing is terrible because they used to have sour candy. And then this crazy person tried to fight me. People who go around looking for fights like that are super weird to me. Thank you. I live in my own little world. And especially here in LA, the number one rule is mind your own business. I learned that when I lived in Hollywood 21 years ago. gosh, it was 23 years ago. I get it. I live like that. I have a weird peace because of that, you know? And I wasn't even wearing any vests or anything. I was just, you know, it's so funny. After all these years, I just wanted a Pepsi. After all these years, I still just wanted a Pepsi. And if there's any suicidal tendency fans out there, the band, I'm speaking about the band YouTube. I just wanted a Pepsi. That's why I love Dollar Tree. I can get ketchup chips and all the time they're cheap. The rest of the store around me don't carry them. I'm so mad the dollar store is closing. I am so mad because I didn't realize how much I frequented in that place because they had chocolate. I have a sweet tooth, you know, and the older I get, I indulge in it. I give into it more, you know. But with the dollar store closing, I have to go find all these new places to go, and I'm an early morning person, and not everybody's happy like that. I can't find ketchup chips. How's it going, Rashawn? How's it going? I love that song. Ice-T did a really good version too. But it was crazy to me. It's been a long time since someone's tried to fight me. It's been a long time. And you know what's funny? The guy, after everything. Oh, I have to show Rashawn, when I saw, hold on, let me finish my story. After everything, I walked outside and the guy wouldn't walk outside. People are crazy. He just wasted my time, man. I literally just wanted a Pepsi and some candy. But Rashawn, I said earlier, I wish you were here. I laughed when the cover of this month's Scientific American was a bear. That's me. That's me right there, wondering why anybody would want to be left alone with a bear. I'm sorry I had to. I'm not over the bear. I'm not over the bear. I'm not over the bear. I died when I saw that cover. Oh. You gotta try them, Rashawn. They aren't for everybody, but those of us who do like them swear by them. They have them here, but they're few and far between. I like ketchup chips. I've only seen them a few times. Only a few times. Yeah, hello. For life, I'm a bear for life. Oh, you know what though? It made me laugh. Like, and it's so funny because most people leave me alone. I'm not saying that I'm a man of peace, but I live my life in a weird peace because I used to say this all the time. It's like Shaun of the Dead. There's all these things going on around me, and I'm like, man, my sewing machine wasn't working today. And I'm like griping about my own issues, you know. I love them, but I only ever saw them in a vending machine at one laundromat on the other side of town. Pennsylvania is the snack capital of America. You can still get chips fried in lard here. Yikes. Thank you so much for stopping by, Joy. It was great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's see. I'll be back at it on Monday. Great to see you, as always. Great to see you. I'm going to get a little bit more in depth about these machines because I'm going to be using them a lot more now that I've pulled them both out. And I'm going to need a lot of help with my serger. Thank you so much for stopping by, Joy. So, Gilroy, you can still get chips fried in lard. You know, when I was a kid, that reminds me of when I was a kid. You would buy bags of chip and they would still have grease at the bottom of the bag. Like even mainstream ones like Ruffles or Lay's, they would have grease because they were actually fried back then. And now I'm craving all these crazy things. I haven't seen Polished and Assembled in a bit. I'm sure she's around. I moved all of my oopsies out of this room. Middlesworth is the company, and sometimes they have grease at the bottom. Oh, that stuff reminds me of when I was a kid. I miss that. Lay's used to be so greasy. Exactly. Matter of fact, all the other companies would advertise that they weren't as greasy as Lay's, and I would purposely buy Lay's. You would eat them and you couldn't touch your clothes. They were so greasy back in the day. It's the summer. She's probably doing fancy professor things. Absolutely. And I hope she's living her best life. I hope she is happy. I'm trying to think. I had a really good time in Vegas, but it also reminded me that I'm getting older and like I getting there was fun. Like, packing the whole adventure, eating a ton of fast food. I was ordering the curly fries, getting everything large. Like, I had a really good time. I did. But but my next vacation, I might go somewhere else. I love ketchup chips and all dressed up, but I haven't seen them in forever. Now I want some. Man, we start talking about food, I get hungry. I get hungry when we start talking about food. Ruffles actually makes an all dressed up chip now. So try Walmart. I can get them all the time at mine. I think because of what you said earlier, because you live in the snack capital of the world, you get a better selection than we do. Because here, like if it's over a certain amount of calories, they don't sell it here. Because of whatever was in Skittles, we don't even get Skittles anymore. They stopped selling Lifesavers. All those companies literally rebranded and started selling like gummies and all these weird things that I've never seen these things, and they're all on the shelf now. So I think because of where you live, Kilroy, like I can't find Bargs anywhere that isn't like 40, 50 miles from my house, says the man who just drove 300 miles for a sewing machine. Ketchup all dressed up and dill pickle are my faves. That's the one I get. Oh man, you guys have me starving. We really do not get any of those exotic flavors here because California considers everything unhealthy. They sell bars at McDonald's. Do you know it's those machines. It's those machines that have every soda you've ever heard of. Those are really the only place where I get bars nowadays. Because now that I think about it, before I left, I went to Wendy's because first I pulled in the parking lot because I had to establish myself. Because I pulled away from my house and I'm like, first I have to take my boots off. When I'm driving long distance, I cannot have my boots on. I wear a size 13 shoe. I even pull my seat up closer because I know I'm going to be in for the long haul, But I situate myself. I make sure I have my food and my drinks, my phones within reaching distance. I find something on the radio that's worth listening to. And you know what? I know no one cares, but shout out to Sirius Radio because they had all the old Sherlock Holmes mysteries on one of their channels. That was clutch. That was clutch because that's something that I listen to at the house and online, and I'm like, so it was cool listening to the old time radio. I can't wear my steel toes while driving. Last time I almost got a ticket. My foot is so big on certain cars when I'm pushing down on the brake and the accelerator at the same time. Because I'm a real life hobbit. I'm 5'9" and I wear size 13 and a half shoe. I just had dill pickled chips. They can't, you know what's so funny? They do not sell that stuff around here. You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me with that. I learned a long time ago with what I call my church shoes. They're just my dress shoes. They're really wide, like court shoes. I don't even know what you call them, but I have a really fancy pair of dress shoes. I cannot drive with them on. They're so flat in the front. I'm pushing down on both at the same time. It's different in my truck because the accelerator's over here and the brake is over here. So, but when I'm in the car, I cannot drive with my shoes on. You must be a fourth duck with that, with those big feet. Do you know what's really funny? With my giant feet, I'm great at swimming. I people always laugh. I always look up at my surfboard, like you guys can see it. I surfed for the longest time. It's because I was born with natural flippers. Having big feet does have its advantages. Makes me an excellent swimmer, and I never fall over. Ugh. I did. In my notes, I went fast food crazy. I did. I went crazy. But it's different because in Vegas, they have stuff that they don't have in California, you know? And the cool thing is they do not put the calories next to it. In California, they let you know, like, you're not going to live long if you eat that burger. Well, you know what? We're not going to live forever. Maybe I want to eat that burger fried in lard and not know that it's like has the the caloric intake of something that you would, would be the equivalent of like eating for 3 days. Over it. There was a ton of, and you know what the funny thing is? I pulled over at this rando gas station and they had this guy was literally had a fried chicken stand, and I'm like, what is this place? And he's like, it's a fried chicken stand. It was amazing. Those are the kind of places I love discovering, Vegas, like I said, has become utterly and completely commercial. It's kind of they have the Vegas I remember has been torn down, and that's okay. So where should I go? I've been bit by the traveling bug. I have the means. Where should I go? I was thinking about San Diego, but like I said earlier, I was looking up San Diego and I'm like, the problem is the internet ruins everything. It had me scared to go downtown. The fabric district was amazing. The fashion district, meeting Modelo Man changed the house of sewing. And I would have never met Modelo Man if I stayed at home being scared of something that I saw on the internet. But I don't know. I was thinking about going to San Francisco, but it's not the San Francisco I remember. And everything's closed. Like I saw this thing about how everything in Hollywood was closed. I went down there. It's a complete lie. Hollywood is open, but I believe it when they say most of San Francisco is closed. So I don't know. You should go crazy. Oh wait, you already did that. Go to Fred Sanford's sewing place. Let's ask the question. I know I've asked this a few times. Alexa, how far is Los Angeles from Michigan?
From Michigan, Los Angeles is 2,219.2 miles away by car.
2,000 miles. That's far. I drove to Brownsville, Texas one time, and that took 2 days with 2 people. So I know how far that's far. That is far. Take a plane, rent a U-Haul. That's not a bad idea. I should go to Michigan now while it's hot. I could do my so-called life tour. I'll just head down. I'll just literally head down. It's been a while since I've been to half of those places. It's been a long time. Mm. Speeding at 100 miles an hour only takes 20 hours with the Well, I do have a semi-smart car. That was one thing I absolutely love about. That's why I took my Ford Flex. I filled my tank one time going there, and I did a lot of driving around. So I filled my tank there and gas was cheaper. So I was paying with cash because I'm weird. I'm not flashing my card when I'm not around my house. But long story short, I'd walk up to the counter and be like, all right, let me get $40 on blah, blah, blah. So I would go and I would pump my gas and I would always get change because I forgot gas wasn't $6 like it is here in California. So your car isn't smart but witty. So yes, absolutely my car. It was my car. It's like a 2019, so it's right before. It's nothing but computer chips, but it's nothing to plug in. You don't plug it in, But it has all those weird fuel efficient things, and the dealer keeps on calling me because they want to buy my car because they don't make flexes anymore, and apparently the computers in the car are worth more than the car. So every year I get a call from the dealer, and they're like, "Hey, you ready to sell that thing?" And I didn't realize the value of it until they tried to offer me. I was like, oh, they tried to offer me like a Land Cruiser or something. And I'm like, I can get a Land Cruiser because the computer chips are so valuable in that stupid car. Sell it to them, buy a Juki with the money. That's not a bad idea. Well, for the price of a Land Cruiser, I could buy like 15 Jukis. I'm serious though. I cannot justify spending $10,000 on a sewing machine. It's a moral principle thing. If I was sponsored, I would have 10 of them in this room. But I cannot bring myself. And I'm going to tell you, for every sewing machine that I have purchased in this room, and I have hundreds, they do not equal out $10,000. So for every sewing machine that I've bought in this room is nowhere near 10 grand. So I still haven't spent that much on sewing machines. But that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I actually really like that idea. I'm sitting here trying to justify, I love that car, though. I absolutely love that car. And they're forcing everybody in California to get fuel efficient vehicles, anyways. You need to buy a gun and a guard dog. I get too attached. I don't know if I could ever get a dog again. Ever. I get too attached and then I'm broken when they pass away. My Cleophas lived to be almost 20 and it destroyed me when he passed away. I don't know if I have the emotional space for a dog. But spending that much money on a sewing machine is crazy. I saw a serger that was worth 10 grand too. I stopped myself from going to the boot barn in Vegas. They have a boot barn that's the size of a Home Depot. And I stopped myself because I need new boots, but I didn't drive all the way to Vegas to spend $400 on a pair of boots. Because they're cheaper in LA. And it made me laugh because I walked in and I was kind of perusing and I'm like, And I think because it's a mega store that you think you're getting a deal because they have every boot on earth, but it's the same. There's a boot barn by my house and they're at least $200 cheaper for the same boot. Oh man, now you can't do any new goofing. I'm gonna get new boots soon, but when I buy new cowboy boots because I do cowboy stuff, it's like I have to really think about it. About 4 or 5 boots ago, I learned a lesson where I bought a pair of boots and I wore them throughout the entire weekend. I wore them. I refused to take them off. On the third day, I couldn't feel my feet. So I learned a lesson. Not all cowboy boots are created equal. And because I actually use them for real cowboy, and I have to be careful. And I can't buy like fake cheap stuff. They have to be like real handmade and made to like last. Oh, wow. I've been going way longer than I thought I would. You know, I want to thank everybody. There's been a lot going on, and I thank everybody who's still here in the House of Sewing. I had an amazing time in Vegas, and it's inspired me to go on more trips. I've stayed in the house the past 4 years because of COVID. Because of COVID, I'm not going to even sit up here and pretend. I've made myself scared. Watching clips, watching way too much YouTube, so it felt good to get out of the house. It felt good to be out and about amongst the people and not in my state. It's different because I travel all around LA. I travel everywhere, but it's weird when you're from somewhere because everyone's kind of like me. So it felt good to be around people that weren't like me and just to be out and about. It felt good. It felt good. I wore my boots until my feet were numb. Now I have 500 sewing machines. That's the name. That's the name of my country album. Beyonce got rich off of hers. I'm gonna try mine. It's true though. I learned a lesson. I was trying to show off too. Because they were brand new boots, and I was walking around, everybody's like, oh, those are fancy. I could not feel my feet. After the third day, I could. But, I'm willing to suffer for fashion every once in a while. You could write a whole album of Broken Heart Country songs about sergers. Oh, you know what's so funny? I always attribute sergers to the Wrath of Khan. When it wasn't like completely locking, I had this sinking feeling of like, why did I buy a serger again? Why did I bring this pain in my life? I'm over. I almost said how many sergers I have. I own quite a few, and I know that's not a shocker, but like I couldn't. This one's gonna work. I think it's because it hasn't been used in a while, and this is definitely late 90s, early 2000s. I can tell just by the cover. I can tell just by the age, because 3 out of 4 threads ain't bad. That's gonna be on the back of my country album. Oh no, actually, that's gonna be the name of my country album. My so-called life and the broken serger band. Oh, patent pending, work in progress. Oh, next is my so-called life and the broken serger band. Oh, I love it. I keep on saying it like I'm reassuring myself. It's gonna work. This serger was bought out of love. It was born out of love. It will work. And even if it doesn't, I scored 2 beautiful sewing machines. They're like brand new. Both of them. So I'm gonna call this one a victory. I rolled into town. My serger broke down. Now I'm at the bar drinking 25 rounds. Gilroy, you are a ghostwriter. You are a ghostwriter. Patent pending. I love that. I absolutely love that. And you know what's funny? I don't know who needs to hear this. When you see the Sphere on TV, the new Sphere in Vegas, it is not as big as it looks. I was shocked because they tore down the casino I had plans to go to and put the Sphere there. I pulled up. I was like, you know what? That is not as big as I thought it was. Or even a hard rock album. Dirty Seems Done Dirt Cheap. I love it. Now I have that song stuck in my head. I'm proud of myself too. I didn't gamble. I stuck to what I said I was going to do. And I still had a good time. I still met amazing people. Even on the way home, I met an amazing woman at Arby's. Of all places, I met somebody at an Arby's. And Baker, California, I went to this, you know, Baker is the kind of town, is a desert town. It's one of the last stops, one of the last established stops before you get to Vegas. And they have all kinds of fast food place, but it's a gas station kind of place. And I was feeling froggy, so I went to Arby's and I met an amazing human. And because it was out in the middle of nowhere, I was the only customer. To say that they hooked it up would be an understatement. I'm not kidding you. The sandwich was this big. I was the only customer out in the middle of nowhere. And like when I got the bag, I'm like, oh, this bag is heavy. I get in my car. They gave me so many fries. It was basically like 2 or 3 cartons worth. Because I was the only customer, and I'm super polite. Because I've worked in fast food. I know how it is. So I'm overtly polite to anyone that works fast food. If I'm a Karen, you will never see me get bucked with anyone that works fast food because I've been there. But they hooked it up. It's been a long time since I've been to Arby's. Oh, why isn't that showing? Or you could make a stoner album, write a song about sewing machines blowing up. Oh, YouTube did not want that comment to be seen. I would love some Arby's. It's been a long time. And I have this really weird thing. I go to certain fast food places in industrial areas because they have no customers. So all the food is cooked fresh right then and there. And so there are certain Jack in the Boxes I go to. I'm like, oh, this is the greatest Jack in the Box ever. But the truth is, it's just every time I go, everything is cooked. Immediately when I show up. One of the best burgers I've ever had was from a Dairy Queen in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska. That sounds amazing. I love places like that. I absolutely love places like that. And you know what? The employees, they're not rushed. They're like, hey, someone finally walked in here. I had a great experience. And plus on my ride home, I was feeling extra stoic. I don't know. It was really weird. I just had this really weird ride home. But it's like anytime I do anything like that, I'm like, how can I change my life for the better? Because I'm a weirdly positive person. So the whole drive home, I was like, how can I improve my life? So by the time I got to Arby's, I was starving. But I love those. See, but that's part of the adventure. I went to a place out in the middle of nowhere, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And because I'm a creature of the evening, I missed a lot of the greasy spoons and a lot of the diners and a lot of the antique shops along the way because they're only open during business hours. And I understand. I don't expect a diner to be open so I could come in there all blurry-eyed at 3:30 in the morning. I love driving at night. And plus, it's so strange driving at night when you go into when you go into the Prim Valley from California. Prim is the border of Nevada. But when you're driving down into this giant valley, you turn this corner and you realize how high up you are because you could see the entire state of Nevada. It's beautiful. But at night it's eerie because it's out there, but you can't see it. So I had a great time. And it's inspired me to take more trips. I miss 24-hour places. Only 24-hour places left are gas stations. Same here. I talk about it all the time. LA is not the same ever since the plague. On days like this, I used to be able to get in my car and go to Tommy's and go anywhere. I could go anywhere, and I even Burger King closes at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you. I needed a break. And quite honestly, I've been going strong for almost I've been streaming 3 days a week for a while now. So this summer I'm gonna take a few breaks. I'm gonna take quite a few breaks. I have all these crazy plans. Going out inspired me to go out and do something with myself again. Even Marquette reminded me, he's like, bro, you used to go out every weekend. You used to go do stuff and go travel. And then COVID hit and you became a house mouse. And it's true. I just started hanging out at my house. That's why I'm thinking about going to San Diego. And for the record, I would not go to TJ. I know what's in TJ. I'm not looking for that kind of party anymore. I'm too old. I wouldn't even know what to do with it if I found it. So I'm going to go thrifting and enjoy myself. Oh, good times. Good times. And that's what it's about. It's about the experience. It's about, finding out about yourself. And, it's funny. I like hanging out by myself. I know that is so strange. I know that sounds weird, but I discovered this about myself when I lived in Portland, Oregon. I used to go to movies by myself. I would go to fancy restaurants by myself. I'm okay with that. If no one wants to go with me, I'll go by myself. I'm just that kind of person. So again, I had a good time, and it was good to get to know myself again, because I have become such a parent. I have become such a parent. It was laughable. And I showed up way over prepared. I came with a cooler. I didn't have to buy a drink one time because I showed up with my own drinks. Oh, since you want desert weather, go to Phoenix. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I used to live there though. I'm trying to go somewhere where I haven't experienced it. I lived there in 1999, 2000, and 2001, off and on. That's why I keep on thinking San Diego, but I keep on saying San Diego just because it's close. Go to Yuma then. Alexa, how far is Yuma, Arizona from Los Angeles?
From Los Angeles, Yuma is 271.7 miles away by car.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm sliding out. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll be back at it on Monday. I'm going to be closing up pretty soon. I'm just having a good time waffling about about Vegas. I'm about to go raid my kitchen. You guys have me sitting here dreaming about stuff. I think I'm going to make chili fries. I have all the ingredients. So I think I'm going to do something extra debaucherous and make some chili fries after I clean up this giant mess in here. Oh, you know what? But seriously, I want to thank you guys. I've been waffling way longer than I thought I was going to. I'm going to be back at it. Same sewing time, same sewing channel on Monday. That would be good. Chili fries. Oh, I'm sitting here thinking about it the whole time. I have onions, green onions. I have the chili. I'm ready. But I will be back at it on Monday. I'm still tired. I'm still gathering myself from my trip. I'm still honestly, I'm still kind of out of it. Go get 5 pounds of chili fries. No, I have all the ingredients. I'm going to make them. I have all the ingredients here. So I think I'm going to do that. Plus I need to slowly clean, and I'm weird. I'm weird at multitasking. So I'll be cooking and then walking around my house and cleaning. I'm strange. I'm a strange human. But seriously, to anyone who watches this in the replay, I absolutely thank you. I am tired. But I will be back at it on Monday. I had a great adventure, and here's to many more. I'm serious. Where should I go? Let me know. Thank you. It's been a ride. I'll be back on Monday. Like I always, seriously though, Kilroy, Alibaba, thank you. Thank you very, very much. See you Monday, Elvis. I'll be back going full Elvis on Monday. I will. And you can't stop sewing. You cannot stop sewing. Like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.